Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today I'll be talking about Chloe Bennet returning as Quake, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2's villain, and a supposed plot leak for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you're new to the channel, or even if you've been watching for a while, make sure you subscribe because more than 96% of you guys aren't subscribed. And if you think you're subbed, double check because apparently there's a glitch where people are getting unsubscribed from certain channels. And remember that a subscription is free for you, but it really helps the channel a lot. And you can always unsub later if you want. Now let's get started. According to Joshua McDonald, the same source that said War Machine will appear in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and said that Josh Brolin will return as Thanos, has now stated that Chloe Bennet is in talks to return as Quake in Secret Invasion. And Mike Colter is also apparently in talks to reprise his role as Luke Cage in Moon Knight as well. Next, take this with a grain of salt, but according to Charles Murphy over at Murphy's Multiverse, the main villain, or at least one of the villains in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, has apparently been revealed. And it's the lesser-known Spider-Man and Daredevil villain, the Spot. The Spot has the ability to access and manipulate portals in any space, drawn as spots in the comics, which he uses to transport himself or any part of his body. He commonly uses it to have his foes punch their own faces, or to assault them from all directions, but it's oftentimes been used for more sinister purposes. In Mark Waid's Daredevil run, the Spot appeared in a key role, wherein his power gets harnessed by another villain called Coyote, who then uses it to operate a global human trafficking empire by kidnapping victims remotely. The science behind his powers is never fully explained, but they mimic some of Cloak's ability to access a different dimension. The potential of his abilities is also beyond what's been depicted so far, not to mention that he has close ties with Kingpin, so he's absolutely a perfect fit should this be true. Next, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania has apparently finished filming in Turkey. An interview on Tourism Today stated that Marvel's filming crew filmed in important regions of Cappadocia for 10 days without any actors, and the filming crew has now returned to the US. It was also suggested that there was a lot of green screen during filming, suggesting CGI characters could be used in the scenes or that actors could be added in later. Moving on, according to Skyler Schuler, the rumor that Keanu Reeves was approached for the role of Kraven the Hunter is true, but he says the actor declined the offer months ago. And lastly, the plot of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposedly leaked on 4chan. And like I always say, while 4chan isn't a reliable source, some things have been right in the past, and this could be fully or partially correct. So if you don't want any spoilers, then click off the video now. Anyway, this anonymous user starts off by saying that the trailers have shown almost nothing of the show. Everything in the trailers is from the first episode, except Madripoor and the shot of Zemo with his mask in hand from the newest trailer, which is ironically from the last episode. The therapy sessions are a bookend for the show. Every episode starts / is intercut with them, and Ross is watching. Flag Smasher is not a major character, just a side character used by Zemo as a distraction. The show in general follows a villain of the week format, with the exception of Zemo, who's built across the 6 episodes. Steve Rogers doesn't die, at least not in this show. There is a funeral, but it's for General Ross. He's not really dead, just hiding underground. And if this is real, it'll probably be when he becomes the Red Hulk. He continues with John Walker is referred to as Captain America throughout his run with the Shield. At one point, he is referred to in dialogue as a US agent, but that's it. He's not a full-on villain, and he genuinely wants what's best for the country, but he follows orders to a fault and has crippling PTSD. Race is a heavy theme in the show, and Sam isn't allowed the Shield because of the Sokovia Accords, but the real reason is because he's black. When Walker goes off reservation and beats Eli Bradley in front of cameras, the government tries to give Sam the Shield for good PR. This almost leads Sam to forsaking the government entirely, but Rhodey brings him back. And in the comics, Eli Bradley becomes the Young Avenger Patriot, which means that they're setting him up for the Young Avengers project. They then say that the show doesn't really set Rhodey up for Armor Wars at all. Bucky's art is atonement and becoming a human again in the small ways he can. Sharon helps him with this immensely. The 5 years after the snap are explored heavily, as is the impact of coming back to a changed world. Omega Red and Batroc the Leaper are indeed in the show. They're the villains of episode 3, which is the Madripoor episode. Omega Red is pretty nerfed for the MCU, but there's a canon reason why, and the word mutant is never said. Songbird doesn't appear in the show, and neither do the Inhumans in any capacity. There's also no tie into Black Widow, at least not one that I noticed. Zemo's plan is to rid the world of superheroes. He escaped and inspired people like Flag Smasher during the snap. He uses the events of WandaVision, John Walker's downfall, and the public uncertainty regarding the snap to radicalize an army. Sam ends up begrudgingly accepting the role of Captain America, but in the end he does it for himself. Bucky and Sharon end up together, and it works better than you think, I promise. Sharon is a highlight of the show, and one of the most capable characters. Ross is trying to recreate the super soldier serum again, which leads to Red Hulk in the last scene. Red Hulk is also intelligent, and approaches Zemo after he's been microchipped with a bomb in his neck to recruit him for the Thunderbolts. Bucky joins the new Shield with Sharon at the end, and Sam seeks to reform the Avengers. They then give a short synopsis for all 6 episodes, starting with episode 1, which details the aftermath of Endgame. Sam relinquishes the Shield to the government and John Walker. Flag Smashers are trying to steal a bioweapon, but with Sharon's help they stop them, and Zemo is revealed to be the villain. Episode 2, John Walker is sent after Zemo. Sam and Bucky continue to butt heads, and the 3 of them have a fight, allowing Zemo to get away, but eventually they come back together and catch Zemo. Episode 3, the captured Zemo leads them to Madripoor, where they shake Walker in the streets. Batroc and Omega Red attack them in a bar, and Zemo escapes on a speedboat, making a public broadcast. Episode 4. Zemo followers rise up in the streets, which leads to vigilantism. Patriot is the main focus. Him and Walker take on a gang together, but he intervenes to stop Walker from killing them, and Walker brutalizes him. This was Zemo's plan, and Sam meets with Rhodey to discuss being a black superhero. Episode 5. Sam still refuses to accept the shield, and everyone gets a turn with it, including Sharon, as they finish off the Flag Smasher gang with Walker trying to make amends. Episode 6. Sam accepts the role of Captain America. Him, Bucky, Sharon, Walker, and Patriot suit up together and take on Zemo in his Alaskan shipping boat base, where he plans to launch his bioweapon from. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Would you like to see Chloe Bennet return as Quake? Are you excited for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2? And what do you think of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier plot leak? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.